Grafana calls and putting them on YouTube, and they're getting a lot of views actually. I'm not saying the Cortex one will, but I think we should record them and make them available because not everyone can make this time zone, right?
Yep, cool. All right, I've started it recording. I'm also in the Prometheus Dev Summit, so I'm probably gonna bounce back to that and just leave this recording. But talk to you all later.
Cheers, Chris.
Thanks.
I think, my advice, this only affects single large tenants, I think, the compaction thing. I think my advice right now is don't run single large tenants, run smaller tenants. We have the multi-tenant querying and stuff, which means you can run, that's one workaround. Another workaround is run your compactors on bigger machines, faster machines. But in general, Cortex, Prometheus compaction is single threaded and is a pain. And improvements upstream will help this, but I think it needs like bigger architectural changes, and we don't have the scope to do them at the moment.
So yeah, I found the Slack thread where Eugene was saying maybe I don't know where they work or whatever, but maybe they would do some work on it. So we should reply, great, please do.
Yeah. Do you know what time zone Eugene's in? Maybe you can join this next time and talk about his plans. Like, I'd love to hear his proposals.
7:45 a.m.
Makes it East Coast.
West
Yeah.
Coast.
Right. So yeah, our time zone.
Oh, okay. All right. What's next? Josh Sharding.
Hey everyone. Just a quick FYI that I have opened up a proposal to do some work on the alert manager to make it more scalable. I know Marco has reviewed it and Jacob as well. I'm just wondering anyone else has more questions. And if, please just like give it a look. There's a lot to digest because it's a pretty big architectural change. Just drop by any questions and let me know.
Yeah, so I know, like, I had talked to you, I've never actually put them on the GitHub PR, but I think it looks generally good from my point of view, but also like I'm not a super experienced in Anger alert manager and ruler user at this point. We're still getting there, but so it would probably benefit from people that are running this in production already having a look.
Do you want to give a brief overview, Josh, of the design?
Sure thing. Is there anything we can share to put up a diagram by any chance?
Is the design doc linked, or is it in Markdown now? We drew all those really pretty images. Do you want me to share it, Josh?
Yeah, sure thing. Sure. Go for it.
I'm just going to share the Google Doc if that's all right, because I don't know how to view GitHub images. So this is how it works right now. Basically, all alert managers handle all tenants, and there's three-way replication, and this is pretty much, I mean, you can replicate it as many ways as you like. It uses Gossip, but there's not much point in replicating it beyond this. You're not actually getting scalability. And the proposal, this design doc's in the PR, but the proposal is effectively to, this is not going to come as a surprise to anyone, is to apply the Cortex ring to this and to shard by tenant. We're going to embed an alert manager distributor into the alert manager binary. We're going to route the Gossip via the ring and over gRPC, so that you Gossip only to that tenant to that replica set. And we want to put the state, so the periodically flush silencers and things like that, into an S3 bucket. There's a lot of detail to this, right? And the details in the design doc, but this is the rough plan.
Yep, that sounds accurate.
Any questions? Any comments?
I would suggest to make sure that we use Thanos object client for this work.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure.
I guess the thing to state, this won't allow you, this will still have like compaction, right? This will still have the one very, very large tenant doing billions of alerts a second. This doesn't solve that problem, right? This solves the I have 100,000 tenants problem. There's a whole bunch of different options and trade-offs here, but I think this is I think this is relatively straightforward and obvious myself, to be honest.
So is this other problem on the horizon? Like, is that going to be solved at some point as well?
I mean, you've got other issues if you're sending hundreds of thousands of alerts a second. Like, alerts go to real people, right? Like, also, I mean, our analysis of Alert Manager right now is, where is it? Here we go. You know, we can handle 700 plus in a relatively modest Alert Manager. We can handle like 700 plus tenants. So it's not a huge burning issue, I don't think. But you know, obviously we'd like every component in Cortex to be scalable.
Yeah, we've even had like users with like 400 active alerts at the same time, and there's no significant increase from that user alone as well. So for the time being, I personally think it's not necessarily a big problem, but you never know, right?
I mean, it'll be a problem if you start going to tens or hundreds of thousands of tenants. For sure. But
yeah,
at the scale that we run Cortex at, it's not a challenge. But this is why we want to solve it before we get there.
All right, thank you.
No worries.
Do we have anyone to speak about 1.6?
Where is Jacob? Let me see if I can get him. He might actually.
I think Jacob is on vacation actually.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any progress on this release, so perhaps there are no news.
Well, that probably means it's after the new year now, does it?
That's a fair bet.
I will work early next week. So I will get back to Jacob in case I can take over the release, and I can release the stable version.
Yeah, if we could get an RC out before Christmas, and then
There is RC0 out.
is there?
Or is it a beta, Peter?
Sorry, what, Tom?
No, you is an RC. You're right.
Yeah, there is RC0.
Well, that's a bit of status we could write down.
RC0 is already out.
Is anyone running it?
Yeah, we do since a couple of weeks. This is the second week we're running it.
Oh well, I shall. Well, it'll already have been and gone in our staging environment, but I'll stick it into production.
Okay.
All right, I think we came to the end of the things that were written in the agenda. Anyone else got any thoughts?
Yeah, actually, hi, I'm Dhruv. I recently signed up for this. I'm just reading about the Cortex. I would like to contribute. I'm just trying to see what I can do here. So this is my first meeting, by the way. So I would be free after Christmas, like around Christmas, from 25 to maybe 2nd or 3rd. So I would like to contribute. If you guys have any responsibility that needs to be taken care, please let me know. In general, I would like to contribute to the Cortex and Prometheus area, if there is a scope and possibility.
Nice. What's your level of experience, Drew? Nice to meet you, by the way. I'm Tom.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you. I have experience in distributed systems, backend distributed systems. Maybe I'll give you a little overview of what I have been doing. So uh, I started working. My first job was at Oracle, where I spent 3 years building infrastructure related stuff, application security and infrastructure. And then I worked at Splunk for 5 years, basically focusing on backend distributed system like clustering and indexing, data replication, that area. And after that, I ventured into a couple of startups. There's a company called Cribble. Uh, uh, that I worked there, like I was a very early engineer there. Recently rejoined Splunk in indexing team. So that's where I am. So I have experience in backend distributed systems. Yeah.
Nice. Are you? Do you work with Chris?
No, I think we are in completely different teams. I just happened to see his name today. I would like to chat with him after the call.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So the way how I got to know about Cortex and Cortex is because one of my teams was using Grafana and Cortex. We are clients for the team that hosts. I think probably Chris' team might be the one who might be running it. We are just using it. So that's how I got to read more about Cortex and Grafana in general. So that's why I felt like maybe I can contribute.
That's great. Yeah, no, welcome. We're dying out for contributions. There's two. If you've got access to the notes, which are on the invite, but I'll paste. Oh no, they're in the chat as well. Oh no, not. There you go. There's a link to the notes in the chat. There's 2 links, 2 tags we use. One is Help Wanted and one is Hacktoberfest. In the GitHub
and good first issues.
Oh, is there good first issues as well? Nice. Where's that one?
Yeah, I was going to say we're sort of having a fight in the notes over. There's a lot more good first issues than there are Hacktoberfest, although they pretty much overlap in the. If you look at both of them, they're a little variable. I would say, but some of the things like supporting Jaeger endpoint, for instance, that's I think a pretty simple bit of config. Might be nice first issue, or HTTP endpoint to show overrides.
I would vote for HTTP endpoint to show overrides. I'd love that one.
That was filed by
me.
Tom Wilkie.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. HTTP endpoint show overrides. Okay, there must be Jira for that. I think, right?
In GitHub issues. Yeah, that if you can find your way to the notes and find your way from there to those queries on GitHub.
When you say notes, are you referring to the written notes or notes?
Notes, yeah, the document, the Cortex community meeting working doc.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll take a look at it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd vote for 1324 too.
Or come into our Slack, say hi. The thing is, it's a big system, right? So you very likely to have questions when you first get into it.
There's plenty of small things for the ruler and the alert manager. If you ping me on Slack, I can direct you to some of them.
Okay, sure.
And I think another thing is really valuable is where we have not written down what the problem is, but as a newcomer, you're going to stumble over certain things, and it would just be so valuable if you put a little something in the docs or in the README or something like that, like for the next new person.
Sure.
Because once you've been doing it 3 weeks, you'll have totally lost all memory of what was so hard about getting started. You'll be in the really hard stuff. But I think it's really valuable for a newcomer to contribute that way, just for the next person.
Yeah, sure. I'll try to come up with something. So I spent some time reading stuff. I was trying to figure out like what would be the right entry point, right? Like I don't directly work on this Cortex or Prometheus in my daily job, right? So I thought maybe I'm missing that thing where if I know, let's say if I'm working in a team which handles a lot of large scale clusters, then I get to know about some problems where I can contribute, right? I was missing that. So I was looking for that experience. in general. Like I was trying to see how I can bridge that gap. But I think looking at small issues and then crawling up would be the alternative approach as well, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of difficult. The bigger things need coordination. It's quite hard to predict how long. Well, even for the people who are very experienced, it's hard to predict. But at least if we kind of know someone's capability, then we're willing to commit. So I guess that's why we tend to say start with the small things. And
Yeah, makes sense.
Once you've picked off a few small things and got comfortable running and contributing, my only suggestion would be before you do tackle any larger changes, write a design doc, submit a PR with a markdown document with like, a clear problem statement, an analysis, and a proposal. Like the Josh's alert manager one's a good design doc. And there's we're starting to put more and more design docs in markdown, so that there's also the history of all the design docs that have gone on and all the proposed changes.
Sure. Okay, cool. Makes sense. Yeah, thank you.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Did I just read that you're at Splunk as well?
Yeah, I joined Splunk like a couple of months ago in September.
Okay, cool. I will reach out to you at Slack and get you set up on our Cortex stuff.
Sure.
Sorry,
Cool.
I'm only mostly recording this meeting, but yeah, I can definitely get you set up on stuff internally here and get you
Sure.
going.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Thanks.
Awesome.
Yep.
great. Form a queue. All right, any more? No? Okay. Well, should we close the meeting there then?
Yeah, good to see everyone. I don't have anything else that we're supposed to be talking about. Is there? Am I forgetting anything, Mark or Peter?
No, have a great holidays, everyone.
Oh yeah.
And Happy New Year.
Oh yeah.
Have a
See
good
you
Christmas.
next one.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays,
Happy New Year,
everyone.
everyone. See you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Have a great New Year.
Cheers.
Have Christmas.